It is Sunday, Minties, and this is usually when I do my retro views, but we have so many books coming out now, I need to go ahead and start doing some of these overviews. So we have the Savage Sword of Conan Volume 3 that just dropped this week, so let's take a look at it. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is give David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel a huge thank you for sending us a copy of this book. This is the third Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus. So let's look at them together. So here's all the spines. Love looking at these on a bookshelf. And then, of course, the back of the book showing what is collected in each of these. So this is the standard edition cover. There is a direct market cover, and that's only available at places like Cheap Graphic Novels, Tales of Wonder, in-stock trades, or your comic book shop. However, I think that's sold out now because those direct market covers go quick. If you've noticed, the design looks very similar on all of these. These actually look like the Conan the Marvel Years Omnibus. So they all look the same. Let's look at it under the dust jacket. And I love the tones that they use for this. I love the way that this makes it look like an old book. Now I have a feeling that even if Marvel changes its logo, I don't see that happening. But even if they do, that they will remain the same. They'll make it work somehow. By the way, I'll also be doing an advanced overview of the Conan Epic Collections here in the upcoming week. So keep an eye on the channel for that. They're finally starting to release the Conan the Marvel Years. This is the color version of Conan. But this is the black and white magazine. So first of all, to the wonderful folks that put this together, Corey Settlemeyer, Rodolfo Maraguchi, Michael Kelleher and Kellustrations, Jeff Youngquist, David Gabriel, of course, all those amazing people that made this collection possible. And of course, none of this could have been done without the actual creators here in their content. So you have Roy Thomas, who of course has been writing Conan and this, and I think he wrote just about everything at Marvel Comics. We also have his introduction here in a minute. Then you have, of course, the legendary Big John Buscema, and you have his brother Sal. Tony Dezuniga does some of the inks, and then Ernie Chan supplies some of the artwork too. There is one color magazine in here, and that is done by Mary Severin, and here's all the contents and the pages you can find it. And speaking of pages, this seems to be, I think, the biggest one. This one has 944 pages. Here's your introduction by Roy Thomas, who is a freaking legend. Editor and writer. I mean, he has written just about everything, and he gives us this in detail information as to what was going on in each issue and what inspired each issue. And you may want to read that after reading the comics, though. I've learned that the hard way, because he kind of spoils things from time to time. And one of the biggest things he mentioned in here, other than, yeah, we had to keep the nudity there. So, okay, that is one thing, and I'll go back to Roy Thomas. So the difference between this, Savage Sword of Conan, and Conan the Marvel Years, is that it's in black and white, but this also has mature content. So it has more violence and nudity. And he calls it classy nudity. I love that. He said Stan said to keep it classy. It's all in the introductions, and I thought that was great. He's like, as long as it makes sense, the nudity can stay. And these were originally released in magazine size, and they tell you, much like Conan the Marvel Years, what issue it is and when it originally came out. So you'll see black and white artwork that looks freaking phenomenal, with the exception of, like I said, one book. And we'll get to there in a second. What was I talking about? Was I talking about Roy Thomas? Yeah. I'll think of it. I can't remember. This is what happens when I lose my train of thought. Uncanny Omar, get smart one day. So this follows the adventures of Conan in a more mature content. So probably closer to what the books were. And if you're looking for color pages, this is not where you're going to find them. You're going to find original, beautiful black and white artwork by some of the biggest names in comics during this time. So not only did he borrow elements from Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian, but he also borrowed elements from other Robert E. Howard properties and gave him a twist to make him a Conan story. So we'll have, like, there's an adaptation here of Conan the Buccaneer. So not only do you have, like I mentioned, both of the Buscema brothers, Ernie Chan, but you also have Carmine Infantino and Frank Brunner and Gene Colan. They supply some of the artwork in these pages here. So you can tell it is gorgeous. Like, I have not read this stuff. This is the first time I'm going through and reading Conan, the Marvel stuff. I've read the Dark Horse stuff as it was coming out, and I loved it. And I've actually read the Conan books, but I never went and read the Marvel Years. Pretty much because I think some of those trade paperbacks, oh, here we go, were out of print from Dark Horse when they were reprinting them, the Marvel Years, and I never got into the character when he was still at Marvel. So the only thing that's in color came out in January of 1979, and it is the Marvel Comics Super Special number 9. So it's not, it features the Savage Sword of Conan, so it's that type of story, but it's all in color. So here's some pages. It's all drawn by Big John, and like I mentioned earlier, Mary Severin did the colors. And it's interesting when you're looking at, that's what I was going to talk about, when you're looking at the introduction, Roy Thomas actually mentions, man, looking at those colors makes me wish they would release these stories in a color collection. Like, put color in the Savage Sword of Conan stories to, like, give it to a new audience. And I don't know if I agree with that. Like, to me, I think I like art the way that it was intended to be, right? So, for example, I know Akira was released here in America under the Epic. Actually, Marvel had the rights to it, and they colorized it. I think it was it Steve Oliff that did it. Steve Oliff did it with their computer-generated colors, and it looks beautiful. And even though Ultimo approved it, I don't know. It's just something missing. I think when it's originally in black and white, it looks better. And if you colorize this like they did with the Hour of the Dragon, which was that trade paperback I showed off a few months ago, that is pretty much the ongoing story within the pages of the Conan the Barbarian, the Marvel Years, and then Savage Sword of Conan. They went ahead and colorized the Savage Sword of Conan chapters so they can release it in one trade paperback. It's a gorgeous trade paperback, and I don't want anybody to miss it, by the way. And I want to make sure that you all know that it is colorized for the first time, these Savage Sword of Conan stories that were chapters in that particular book. And once again, that is this book right here. So what does this collect? I haven't even talked about that. This collects Savage Sword of Conan 29 through 44 and Marvel Comics Super Special number 9. And that's it. And it may not seem like a lot to collect, a lot of issues, but these were oversized magazine issues. So the stories were oversized. Oh, and one thing you may have noticed, when we're looking at the Marvel Super Special number 9, it does say co-starring Red Sonja. Now, Red Sonja does not appear in the Conan story. She had her own story, but that is not collected in here. That is collected in, because Dynamite owns the rights to Red Sonja, they have their own collections. And I think they're just in trade paperback. But man, what I would love for Marvel to get those rights back to that character. So that's why you'll only see Red Sonja within the pages of Conan, but when they have a crossover, like in the previous Marvel Years Volume 3, we don't get those issues collected, the Red Sonja issues. We just have her appearance within the pages of Conan. So anytime she does appear within these pages, they are collected in there, as long as it's a Conan story. Now, let's look in the back here for extras. Oh, the art, man. See what I mean? I don't know. There's just something unique and special and beautiful about the black and white artwork. And I'm sure it looked a lot different, right, when it's not in this glossy paper. But I think even now it still stands out. Let's see, there's all these articles here. There's a timeline, too, by the way. A Marvel Comics timeline. Violence! In that color special. As far as the extras, this is what I wanted to point out. This is Conan the Conquistador. So this is an article written by Douglas Menville that originally appeared in 1979. And it talks about the popularity of La Reina de la Costa Negra, which was pretty much in Mexico. They started coming out with these comic books where Conan kind of took the back seat. He became a second tier character. He had blonde hair too, and she became the star of the comic book. And I was like, that's really cool. And that's of course the Queen of the Black Coast, and so Bailet, right? So she is the star of the comic book, and there's this huge article explaining how it got there. And man, it would be cool to see Marvel publish those one day, right? Then we have pinups back here. Oh, look at that cover. We have original artwork, pencil layouts. Oh, that's Big John's right there. And this is a cover and a color rough. And then these are the Treasury editions, which were reprints of these stories. And I don't know because I don't own them, but the Savage Sword collections from Dark Horse, were they in color? Did they recolor them? There is the standard edition cover, in case you just have the direct market cover. And much like volumes 1 and 2, there's not much of an eye. But as you could probably tell, the sewn binding, it still opens up just fine. Let's look here through the... Yeah, it stays opened. It's not a big deal. And like I said, volumes 1 and 2 had that same kind of binding with the eye. For some reason, it's not it's not too big. But that is it. Now, you can purchase this book from our sponsor,
cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was it. That was the build of the book, the contents, and the page count. Let me know in those comments down below if you are picking up the Savage Sword of Conan, or if you're picking up Conan the Marvel Years, or if you're picking both of them up. I would love to know all those comments down below. Maybe you're waiting for an Epic collection. I don't know if they'll go that route. But regardless, thank you very much for watching. This was the Uncanny Omar. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. We can be found on Redbubble and Patreon. All of that information is in the description down below. Great way to support the channel, and thank you to our existing patrons. We are also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you want to follow us that way. And that is at NearMintCon. More importantly, please everybody stay healthy, stay safe, and much love to all of you.